Hello my friends and welcome. We have some great news from the front lines. Ukraine repelled the Russian attack near Belogorivka and Dibrovo. Before Russia advanced in this sector using lots of the forces, they had at least 3 of the attack waves, we call them the meat waves or human waves, and all of those forces were stopped by Ukrainian defenders at first. However, Russia took some of the ground, and today Ukraine went on the counterattack in this area, taking ground back. Russia is quite confused because according to their calculations, the reserves of the Russian forces should have been enough to take all of this territory. We are speaking about this part down to the river. If we check out the 3D map, you may see that the terrain there is mostly flat. However, nearby there is the high ground that is controlled by Ukraine. So Russia wanted to take all of this territory, including those lakes and swamps. It is kind of the rare place if we speak about Donbass, because this water creates the good field for the woods around, so our enemy and the Ukrainian side also may hide some of the troops in this forest. The biggest settlement nearby is Kremina. I expected the Ukrainian army to move towards that village before, however now I see that we don't have the chance, at least now, to go and liberate this place. However, last year Ukrainian army was very close in reaching this settlement. It is not the city, it's still the town, however it's very important from the strategic perspective. The fight is also ongoing for Belogorivka. Here the terrain is a little different, as you can see. We have some of the hills and other stuff, and Russia wanted to land their forces across this Siversky Donets river before and was totally ambushed. We also have the confirmation about the Ukrainian counterattack from the other source. Ukraine uses the surveillance to aim our artillery more precisely. Russia also uses the drones and their artillery to target our positions. And as I said to you before, the fight is ongoing in Belogorivka between Ukrainian and the Russian soldiers. Russia even used some of the tanks in this place. And Ukraine also performs some of the surveillance behind the front lines. My friends, before we continue with other parts of the front lines and more news, let me tell you about the partner and the sponsor of my channel. It is the Atlas VPN. They have the unique proposal, which is valid for my subscribers and followers, where you may get the Atlas VPN Premium for the record low price. Just $149 per month, plus you'll have 12 months extra. It is the Black Friday deal. It has military encryption standards, strongly securing your data and your devices from being reached by government, unwanted ads, and also hackers. I use the VPN all of the time, and for me personally, Atlas VPN is the best VPN out there. It has a security breach device monitoring feature, so it alerts me that someone tries to reach my device. Then I use the public Wi-Fi. Then I see that message, I disconnect from that public Wi-Fi. Atlas VPN is very fast. It guarantees you the best streaming connection, then you watch movies on Netflix. And also by changing your virtual location, you may get access to watch all of the movies, all of the series on Netflix platform. It helped me a lot. My friends, and now please check out my personal link in the video description just below, or scan the QR code available on the screen, where you may get the Atlas VPN Premium with a Black Friday discount, just $149 per month plus 12 months extra. It is the record low price in all of the premium VPN segment, and I'm very happy that it is valid for my followers. Also, it is time limited, so hurry up to join the club. We also have the update from the Bakhmut area. This is the Bakhmut city itself. Let's zoom into Andriivka, where the enemy unfortunately took more ground recently. Actually, I already told you, I think, about it around a couple of days ago. We just have the deep state military update showing this situation. So yesterday and today, this area is little on the high ground compared to the nearby terrain. So this is Andriivka, and Russia has the south vector towards the hill. I think you are able to spot it over here. So this is the valley with some of the river. Ukraine still controls this area, and it's awesome. There is actually nothing left from that village. I showed you in one of my videos that there are just a couple of the streets with private residential buildings. all of them were grounded. Speaking about the Ukrainian advancement towards Horlivka, for now, my friends, there are no any news. Ukraine took the ground over here, but is not propelling forward. Probably, after all, it was the maneuver to deflect the Russian forces from Bakhmut and Avdiivka. In Avdiivka itself, the situation is more or less standstill for the 3 consecutive days. I think weather plays a great role nowadays. That is why Russia is unable to use the field roads to move ahead and try to encircle this settlement, this town. The weather is more profitable for defense right now, and Ukraine may reorganize the defense and send more reinforcements to this area, so critical time should be used to reinforce our defense. In all of the South, Zaporizhia and Donetsk front lines, no any changes. The only news from Donetsk side are coming from the place that was ambushed yesterday with the help of the HIMARS. Let me show you the video. We are speaking about the Russian propaganda concert for their military officers. You can see the stage was totally ruined, so I believe the rumors that the artist and everyone who were on the scene will not play for the Russian propaganda any longer. They went to play the concert somewhere else. The building wasn't the local school, it was really a concert hall and administrative building. And here you can see Lenin just in the front, so Russia put it over there. They call it the Village House of Culture, and those are the symbols of self-proclaimed Republic of DPR, which is now, like Russia thinks, is the part of the Russian Federation. Unfortunately, I think Ukraine used just a single missile to target this place. That is why, as you can see, this part of the building wasn't really hurt where the officers were located. However, some of them were kaputted or delivered to the hospitals with severe wounds. Somehow Ukraine got the information about this Russian military concert. In Kherson Oblast, everything is also standstill. However, some sources say that Ukraine was able to get to Poima village, but I don't have the evidence of that. Right, we have some of the videos from the front lines, my friends. I'm gonna publish them on my Telegram. Here I'll show just some of the screenshots. So here's the Bradley. It fires the smokes to hide itself and also fired towards the Russian positions at the same time. It is happening on the south flank of Avdiivka. Probably Ukraine is using the current bad weather to advance a little. From the drone video, it's hard to judge about the condition of the roads, but believe me, there is the dirt and those traces tell us a lot. So the active phase of fighting is still ongoing in this place. Ukraine uses Bradleys and other vehicles very carefully. You can see from the stationary points hiding with the smoke and firing directly towards the Russian positions in this forest line. For the first time, Russia lost their all-terrain towing vehicle. It's called Plastun SN. It happened in Zaporizhia direction. At first, Russians say that they've targeted the Ukrainian M113 infantry vehicle, but later on they removed this post because clearly it is the Russian vehicle. Russia found the Ukrainian drone boat somewhere on the western side of the Crimean shore. Probably it lost the connection and later on the waves put it to this shore. So obviously Russia will have the access for the technology, but everything is kind of simple out there. Our engineers are not opening something new with this technology. Ukraine continued to use the J dams, this time targeting the Russian ammunition depot in Kherson Oblast. There was some fire and the Russians were running out of this place. The Ukrainian army has started to use the extra large FPV drones capable to carry 4 kilograms of TNT shell, and today for the first time they targeted the Russian positions right in this building. The kaboom was really massive, eliminating everything inside of the second floor of this building. The Swedish modification of the Leopard 2A5, it's called Stridsvagn 122, was spotted in Liman direction, the direction we were talking about where Ukraine got the success. You can see the weather there is quite snowy this time, and there are some woods helping to hide the Ukrainian vehicles. I think we need to put also the white marks on this, I would say, summer camouflage. But overall, I think the tank is mostly used stationary in this place. probably for defense. Russia tried to send some of the S-300 air defense systems closer to the front lines. Their biggest threat are the JDAMs that Ukraine launches from the airplanes. However, the Russian machines just stag on the way. You may see the conditions of the soil. It just turned into the dirt. I wonder how they can move those systems. Well, definitely they can at some point, but it's very hard for them. Germany now has some of the deficit in the Leopard 2 tanks because they sent many of them to Ukraine, so Switzerland will sell back 25 of the Leopard 2 tanks back to Germany. The condition is that those tanks should not be transferred to Ukraine because Switzerland wants to keep the neutrality. The classical Russian army, the driver of this very unique brand new KAMAZ 53958, it's the new modification of their transport vehicle, decided to drift a little with Zhiguli. That's the normal Russian vehicle. So you can see it's quite interesting vehicle, I might say. And here's Zhiguli. So let's see who wins the competition of the best Russian drift. Well, obviously it's KAMAZ. Nice performance. It hit the side of the road and turned on the side. Again, Russia lost one more air defense system book on the front line, so Ukraine is great in identifying the Russian air defense. It's awesome. Our guys cleared the way for our aviation to work with JDAMs. That's how our soldiers may liberate some of the territories. For example, this is near to Krinky. The village was liberated for the long time since the beginning of this full-scale war, and locals are very happy. They're crying to meet Ukrainian soldiers. The last time I saw those pictures was the last year somewhere in Kherson. Hopefully Ukraine will have enough resources to liberate as many territories as possible. Yeah, I'm sure that Ukraine will liberate everything. We just need the time. For this year, I think the main campaign is over already. Bulgaria will finally transfer 100 of the old BTRs to Ukrainian army. They will transfer not just the BTRs, but all of the equipment to maintain them, plus some of the ammunition. Obviously, those vehicles should go through the special maintenance before being used in Ukrainian army. Obviously, the modern-day MRAPs and Max Pro are fantastic compared to the old Soviet BTRs, but still we need everything for the front lines. About the military help from Germany that was recently announced by the German defense minister, who visited Kiev, by the way, so we'll have 20 more Marder BMPs, the demining tank, and 5 of those medical ambulance all-terrain vehicles, 2,380 artillery shells. Usually we use even more per day during the active phase of war. Now we understand that because of the weather everything more or less stands still. 2 of the huge towing tracks, 8x8 systems, and many more other stuff. Well, thanks Germany for your kind support. We all expected the Taurus cruise missiles to be delivered to Ukrainian army this year. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but Germany compensated with more air defense systems and missiles for the air defense systems. Awesome. Putin addressed to G20. By the way, United States President and the leader of China refused to take the part in this conference. Again, he says that Russia wants to cease the fire and to make some sort of the peace deal with Ukraine. We understand what that peace deal means. It means taking more of the Ukrainian territories. They already put in constitution all of the Kherson, Zaporizhia, Donetsk and Luhansk oblasts. He says that Russia wants to reach justice in Ukraine. Well, they are reaching sometimes, then Ukraine fight them back, totally demolishing them. That's the justice. And again, he blamed the Western countries for his own war crimes. So definitely Russia wants to continue, even though now they're saying that they want to finish this war. The strategy for Russia is to collect more resources and to attack Ukraine once again. The same stuff they did in Chechnya. During the first Chechen war, Russia forcibly signed the capitulation, proclaiming the independence of Ichkeria, so Chechnya, and later on, then Putin got the power, he attacked Chechnya once again, totally demolishing the capital of Chechnya, Grozny, with all of the civilian people inside. So we already know how this butcher things. The Russian goal is to take the major part of Ukraine, including the capital city of Kiev. Under any kind of the peace negotiations, Russia would never leave this aim. For Ukraine, unfortunately, the only goal is to fight for independence continuously with the help of our Western allies. Why? Unfortunately, because at the same time during this fight we are losing lots of the people. It's the tragedy of Ukraine, of our people. It's just crazy what this stupid prig did to Ukraine, and by the way also for his own country. The president of the Czech Republic said that the counteroffensive of Ukraine is ongoing not as planned by Ukrainians themselves. Yes, obviously we may see it. Our leaders, politicians and military command overestimated Ukrainian counterattack and underestimated our enemy. People believed that it would be the same as the last year in Kharkiv and Kherson Oblast, but it appeared that Russia was ready for the Ukrainian counterattack. Unfortunately, we were not able to reach the set goals for this operation. However, it's not yet over. Ukraine still has the resource for the future counterattacks. The winter campaign will be difficult because Russia now is on their counterattack, for example in Avdiivka. However, they are not reaching their goal as well. The 17th Ramstein meeting was held today in online format. Zaluzhny was presented also over there. Those meetings are usually conducted once each month to coordinate the efforts of allies in this war. Sometimes Ukraine even has the military support increasement, let's say, after those meetings, but it wasn't announced this time. But Russia wants to conduct their own military meetings. Today it was the meeting of ODKB, the military alliance between Russia, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Belarus and Armenia. By the way, you may see more flags than people presented. Why? Because Armenia decided not to go for the meeting. Also, according to some of the rumors, Armenia will support Ukraine with military help. We're gonna receive lots of the Tochka-U tactical ballistic missiles. This information hasn't been yet confirmed, but hopefully it will be like that. The sources say that Armenia took that decision under the influence of the United States, which guarantee now the sovereignty of Armenia in the possible confrontation between them and Azerbaijan. So the military ally of Russia might potentially help Ukraine. Nice alliance they have. Meanwhile, the president of Azerbaijan says that there are no any obstacles any longer to sign the peace agreement with Armenia. So, the good news. Not a long time ago we got the information from the ABC News that the supplyment of the artillery shells to Ukraine dropped by 30%. So today we have the official statement of the United States Defense Department, so Pentagon, and they say that the information from the ABC News is not real. They still support Ukraine with required artillery shells. Nevertheless, they ask the United States Congress to validate the new military bill for Ukraine and Israel, because without it, there could be some issues with the military support of Ukraine. North Korea claims that it launched the first spy satellite. Well, I think that this satellite was produced in Russia or China. North Korea doesn't have the technologies for this stuff. My friends, don't forget to press the like to this video. It is very important for me. Also, please check out my personal link in the video description just below, where you may find the Atlas VPN Premium with the Black Friday discount. This discount is valid just for my followers, so hurry up to join the club. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.